Well, this goes into the idea of the 7 to 8 transformation as well. The idea of the not only the 7 to 8, but also then the opposite side of that, the 6 into 7 or 76 code. The biggest one being the 1776. If you then look at that, if you put it into the 3, then you would put the 1 into the 7, making the 8 or 7 6. So 6 7 8, getting it? Seeing then that you move from the idea of the cube, the water, into the 7, or the idea of something given to you as a temple, as an idea of thought or prayer. And then it goes into the 8, which then requires you to look into it and to discover things about it and to be lied to about it. Gobekli Tepe is a hoax. All right? It's Turkish for Potbelly Hill, which is gibberish for hoax. All right? Period. All this is nonsense. I told you it goes into the code of the 10 code, the IO. The reason you see the IO is that is mirrored here with the 1963, going into the reducing that into the adding together, and then reducing to making the 10 idea, or the return the snake eating its tail, the idea into the 8. Remember, this is now a cattail. It's like a created story out of whole cloth. There's nothing here. All right. Let me show you more about this. Gobekli Tepe is nothing more than what looks to be some just not very old, like an abandoned sheep pen, and they took the opportunity to then slide in these reliefs made of concrete shaped stone, and then almost looking like they took machined in a way, being that they're so uniformly cut, and then the etching, as you'll see, is quite straight and machine-like. Notice this is also then a 9/11 code. Not only do you have your upside down 6, or in rotation would be your 69 idea, making the 8. Do you understand that? So then you would go like this, just so we understand this. The 6, you flip it over in your mind, flip mirror and opposite, makes the 9. Do you see how that makes an 8? 8, 9, 10, 11, right? The 11 making the 2 being the temple, all right? The bet. You're taking a bet on this being real, and it's a hoax. Now, I've told you that before. Mirrored the 11, I just told you that. Mirror the 11 with what? That's the 2, followed by the 3. All right? The 3 knots. All right? Then that's going to give you the idea of the bell, the idea of the ring. All right? That together adds into your 5, the running man, into the 6. 7, 8, 9 are your spiritual numbers, bringing you into the 9, or the Tet. All right? The offensive information that you believed because you thought this was real. Because you didn't take the time. And okay, let me calm down, because a lot of you might even already know this is a hoax. So I'm not talking to everyone, obviously. Okay. This is Gluten Morgen. Oh, that's Guten Morgen. That means good morning, I think. I thought it said Gluten Morgen. So anyways, it's a 7 code, obviously. It's a 7 code, and do you see how the knot, the 0, is the spiritual indicator bringing you into the 8? All right, that idea. Okay. Do you notice then that you also have right in the AM, you have the 1, the 2. The 2 being the idea of just this, the idea of the 13 going into the 4, all right, and then the 4 being 2 2s, which is the mirrored opposite of the 11 11, which is going to be the 11th letter. Hold on, let me bring that up. I know that was a long way around, but it'll make sense in a minute. Hold on. Okay, now also this is now the 2 as well. See, this is why it's important to not get tied down with always a 2 being the number right after 1. It may be, but it may be the number right after 10, which is a return then, right? That becoming your new 1 into your second 2. This would be a higher level idea. Like the letter K being the 11th, but that's yet another 2. It's another temple number going into this idea of Zambals, or the cult of Zambals, which is basically your modern day Masons. Okay, the K, do you see it right there? The lamb being sacrificed. Do you see that this is the 22? All right, 2 fingers up, 2 fingers down, the 1 thumb, the 2-2-1, all right, making the 5, all right, or the handled man, right? You would put the shaft right there, right? All right, this would be moving into the idea of Jupiter. Jupiter also being the idea of Zeus, being the same idea of love, or Jove, all right, that idea being the same as the 2, being the idea Lucifer, or the 2, the temple, the idea of the place, the residence of the light that you accept as being true, that you know is true, the night light, the dark night, the negative influence, all right, the polar opposite of true, all right? Do you see the engaged arc? Do you see the laid down K? If I mirror opposite, that creates what would be then the suspended cube between 2 lines. I've showed you that before. The hand representing, do you take hold of this and call it your truth? All right? I suggest you do not. Look at this reliefs. This is ridiculousness. This is some mixture between a hanging belt, something that you would find in the hoax of the Southwest. That whole area, 4 corners, is nothing more than a Dalet door into insanity as well. All of those so-called American Indian tribes. I don't care if your grandpa was half Chickasaw, man. Can it? All of those people came from what's called modern day India, Pakistan, middle and eastern China, Japan, and islands in the Pacific. I will not tell you that again. All right? This is a big hoax. Look at this. This is nothing more than a fire drill, a big fire pit. The idea that they're going to give you a place to look at, a hole in the ground. All right? Gibberish. They will literally sell a story, a new age religion around this, because I know this started to be put into the public consciousness a while ago, but really with the internet and the latest video, it would have been the series called Ancient Aliens. There is no ancient. There's none. Greek, Roman, Egyptian culture, none of that it's all a hoax. None of that's ancient, period. The so-called pyramids were built in the late, well, mid to, I'm even willing to go to mid 1700s, but it's mid 17 to the 1800s, and in fact a lot of it was even built into today. They're still discovering things, so it's the gift that keeps on giving, you know. Just you bury Easter eggs, and they're nothing more than time capsules. Oh, it's time to discover, you know, this one now, and then they're like, oh, let's dig it back up. Remember, your cousin Eric buried it when he was at war in the desert, right? Bunch of fakers, clowns. You never killed nobody. Yeah, bunch of half-stepping liars. Look at this. right here, this is the side of like the shape. Do you notice when I go to the idea of the K, it's the hand, and I wanted to keep this in mind. So then you grab at the idea of the M, or the 13, the 4, which is the what? The double 7 idea. If you take your two bang bang fingers, gun fingers, rotate them in together, you're going to make a door. All right. Now that door, do you go into it? That door is also not only the double 7 idea, which is the 33. Remembering that the 7, or the slash of what is in what people see as the 7, also is representative of the 3 or the G in Phoenician, or the 7th letter. All right, so you have that 37 idea representing the idea of the 777 into the 21 into the 3, or the idea of the bell ring. Do you see how everything folds in on itself? The wheel within the wheel within the wheel. So then you look out and you notice all these ideas, and you have to keep that, or you have to understand that you have to look at them in all directions, because these waves are in constant motion. You then just have to see the tone or the tune of it to decrypt it, or to decode it. So then you understand what these guys are putting out. Because these guys are idiots, all right? It is the spiritual power that is working through them, that is doing all this very intricate work. Not these meatbags, idiot Mason gut fools that people actually literally vote for and run around and act like they're rock stars. Grow up, you people. Stop acting like stupid, spoiled brat children. If you need to go hose yourself down, then do it. Whatever you need to do to calm down, do it. But stop acting idiotic. Stop falling for these nonsense hoaxes. Those are just rocks in the field, man. That's not an ancient temple. All right, now let me calm down. This is starting to annoy me. All right, another 11 right there, which is the 11, the idea of the 2. Right, the idea of the K, the KK. Right, the 22 to the head. Pow! You're dead. Die daily for the lie, man. So anyway, I don't want to leave on a sour note, so let's take a toke. Because nobody died and no one got hurt. Nobody died and no one got hurt. Be free in Christ. Have a great night.